Hey everybody, Leslie from Discovery Fabrics and Martha from Discovery Fabrics. Martha is our resident expert on layering, and in fact Martha has written a blog in it. Our blog is actually called Threads of Wisdom, and we've got a lot of different subjects that Martha's writing on and I'm writing on a few. But today we wanted to do a video to explain to you how to pack, right, for when you're hiking in the summer.
So we get a lot of questions, especially at this time of year, of people that are going on some kind of an adventure travel trip, be it multi-day, single day. Usually they're going somewhere north. So when I say north, I'm thinking north of 60 degrees. So Arctic potential,
Iceland,
or Alpine.
Norway.
So the trick with that, sometimes it stumps people, is because if they're going with an outfitter in particular, the outfitter will send them a clothing list that sounds like they're going on a winter vacation. And the reason why they do this is because north of 60 in the Alpine, it's really common to have 3 or 4 seasons of weather in a single day, so you need to be prepared for that.
So we actually snow in the summer.
Absolutely, it does it all the time.
Yeah, okay.
I lived in the White Horse for 20 years, and yes, it snows in every month. So
you're going to walk through everything you need to wear potentially in a day, or for anything that could potentially happen.
Exactly, just to give a little bit of context to if you're looking at a packing list and thinking, really, do I really need that? Yes, you do. So when I was guiding trips, I used to personally follow a formula that helped me make sure that whatever I was packing would fit into my limited dry bag or river barrel or whatever I was using. So I always went with Baselayer, 100 weight, 200 weight, 300 weight weather protection. And if I had at least one of those, I knew I could dress for any kind of weather that I was going to experience. And then if I had leftover space, well, then I started shoving in all my extras. So we'll start
snacks.
No, not clothes. So I can be fashionable, like a dress. Sometimes you need a dress when you're camping.
You never know.
You never know. Okay, so base layer. So what they mean by that, it could be, your nice lightweight, quick drying t-shirt. It could be a nice, maybe lightweight, 100% merino long sleeve shirt. You probably want at least a short sleeve and a long sleeve, and that forms your base layer. So yep, base layer sometimes means long underwear, but it also means exactly what Leslie's wearing. It's your t-shirt. It's your right next to skin layer.
That's right. So and you want it to be wicking and fast drying too, right?
Absolutely, definitely. Like when I first started guiding, we went in cotton. Not anymore.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. That tells you how old I am. Okay, moving on to the bottoms. Could be a pair of leggings. If you love hiking or doing athletic things in a pair of leggings, leggings are a great base layer in the summertime. Or could be a pair of lightweight long johns. These are Patagonia long johns, nothing fancy. They're pretty similar to our power stretch jersey.
They are.
If I had to give you a comparable fabric. So a base layer for your bottoms.
Power stretch jersey actually is a really good option for
a great
base layer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going to do a little reorganizing.
Okay.
So if you don't want to hike in leggings, if that's not your jam, you can hike in a pair of like lightweight stretch woven jogger style pants. Totally fine. You could also hike in a lightweight pair of straight leg pants. Sometimes you can get the straight leg pants where they zip off into shorts. Amazing, because then if it gets hot, you can unzip your lower legs. Totally fine.
Feels these are not made with our fabric, but they do feel very much like surfer stretch woven.
Absolutely. They're a stretch woven. Yeah. Those are Lululemon. We haven't found that exact fabric, even though we keep looking.
Yeah, that's right. But it is a very lightweight stretch woven with a yoga
waistband.
Ribbing.
Comfort. Yeah, exactly.
Comfort waistband.
And these will fit over leggings or long underwear. So you can layer if it's a little bit chillier. These also block a little bit of wind. And this pair is a little bit water resistant. So not rainproof, but water resistant.
Which is nice because most of our stretch wovens are water resistant.
Excellent point. Yeah. Then for a little bit of added warmth, I would always throw in these super technical, I've shown you these in videos before, they're 100 weight fleece. I swear they're 30 years old. And they're not as tight as leggings, but they're close fitting. And so they fit over top of either one of these and can give me a cozy layer if I'm a little bit chilly.
So Polartec 100, Polartec Micro Grid, fleece.
Power Grid,
you're gonna
Power
get your
Stretch,
warmth.
Yeah, like Power Stretch fleece.
Fleece back,
They're just, it's a little cozy layer because sometimes Sometimes it's cold. Sometimes you wake up and there's 6 inches of snow on the ground.
You can sleep in these too.
Absolutely. I've slept in pretty much all of it.
Okay.
Then on top of my t-shirt or my long sleeve shirt, depending on what I feel like for the day, I move into my 100-weight layer. So I learned how to layer when when Polartec first came out with 100-weight, 200-weight, 300-weight, and you just kept going up your weights to get a bit of warmth. So another vintage piece is my 100-weight micro fleece mock turtleneck top.
Yeah.
Love this thing. I still wear this all the time when I need just a little extra cozy. Or you could use a power grid. This is high warmth, one of our high warmth power grids, a color that's no longer available,
Yes.
but this is also
Which we're sad about.
equivalent in terms of warmth
Weight,
factor
warmth,
and weight and bulk. Then I want a heavier mid layer. So this is our High Loft 4230. It's super cozy. Oh my
It's
gosh, it's
extreme warmth.
amazing.
Yeah.
So this is still, I call it a mid layer, but it's also, you can wear it on its own. It doesn't have to be underneath something.
And it's got the high loft that traps the air.
So
in
warm and
wear.
cozy. And even when I was on, when I went up to the north of Vancouver Island, San Joseph Bay, the wind was howling. It was March, so it was not warm. I did not have a wind layer over top of this, and I was completely warm. Like the wind, even though they don't tout this as being wind repellent or wind resistant, it blocks a ton of wind.
But you probably were not standing around either. You were walking.
No, I'm
like,
standing
oh,
on the
were you?
beach. This is
Oh.
once I got to the beach, and you know, you're
Oh.
like looking around at all
Okay.
the sea junk.
Good to
that's
know.
And all the driftwood. But, so that can be a great option. Or maybe you want to have a puffy something like our Sonora quilted. If you've got a little jacket in a lightweight puffer, that also works really well.
Yeah.
The nice thing about these is they're going to block a little bit more wind in theory than the fleece will. Although I just told you that fleece blocks some of the wind, but. Yeah, so another lighter weight layer that is also a standalone.
And this one obviously is from Arc'teryx, which is a very high-end brand. And what I love about it is they've used Polartec
Windpro
stretch for the side. So this is a non-stretch jacket where they're getting the movement out of having that stretchy
They still use
side
this
panel.
too. I check every
Yeah.
season when they're new in the store. I'm like, yeah, still doing it. So
And you can make your own too. Even this would be like a lightweight water repellent stretch woven with maybe Primaloft inside, maybe 100-weight Primaloft.
Sure.
Do you think that would be good?
Yeah,
for like summer.
absolutely.
You don't need that great big bulk. You
no,
need it like a
this
mini
is like
puff.
this is not very puffy. This is also really old, so it's losing a lot of its fluff. But it's just another slightly warmer layer as you're going up in your layers.
And as a disclaimer, Martha has everything. I mean, anytime that I'm asking about, do we have an example of something? Maybe we could find one. She's like, I have one of those. So this
It's
is
true.
all from
I
Martha's
had an outfitting
closet.
business. We got a lot of junk. I still have ice climbing gear. I am never ever gonna ice climb again. But if you need any, I got some. Okay. I'm gonna throw the vest in here. This is sort of a bonus item that I would always try to sneak in if I could. So again, either like a lightweight puffy vest, or Laura's wearing a fleece vest as she's filming us. It's perfect. Just like one more layer for
Just
your
a
core.
snuggly. Like if you made a fleece, that would be like a 200 weight, wouldn't it? for a
Yeah,
vest?
exactly.
Yeah.
Or 100 or wind block or something. But yeah, I always would try to throw a vest in because it doesn't take up much space and it gives you lots more warmth. Then we're going to move to protecting from sort of more elements, not just cold. So I would sometimes, if I had space, I'd throw in this. This is wind protection only. So it's not waterproof. The seams aren't taped, but it's a super, I call them nothings because they fit in your pocket pretty much. So if you happen to have one of these and you can shove it in, it's a great layer, especially if you're in the Alpine and you've been hiking up and up, and you get to the top and now you got the view and it's gorgeous and you want to hang out and eat your lunch, but holy crap, the wind is blowing and now you're freezing because you were sweating a little bit. You throw this on and it's a game changer, and
just
it doesn't
block the
take up
wind.
any space and it weighs nothing. So this cannot be a rain jacket, but it's a great extra layer if you have one and you can throw it in. Highly recommend that. Then for the elements, you always need something to protect you against the rain. You've got a few options there, and again, I would kind of decide on how much space do I have, how long am I going out for, how likely is it to get super snotty and disgusting, and I might pick my rain gear because I had options based on how nasty it was going to get. So if I didn't think I was going to get super nasty, I wasn't thinking I was going to have to exert for long periods of time, in my rain gear and I wanted really to save space, I packed my light rain jacket, which is this one. This is one of those like 2.5 layer laminates we sometimes say, where there's the outer fabric, the membrane that actually provides the waterproofness, but there's no backing fabric on top, so you save a little bit of weight. It's also disgusting stained on the inside.
That's similar to the aluminum back.
Like our aluminum back shell,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And they pack up reasonably small as well, so that would be a lightweight rain option. If it was going to, if I was going out for a long period of time, it was definitely going to get snotty, then I would pack a more bomber raincoat. So this is a 3-layer laminate, so there is a backing fabric covering the membrane. And you can tell the 3 layers because they're usually the ones that are a little bit crisper, crunchier, stiffer.
So this is more like our no stretch neo shell.
Yeah, or even one of the stretch neo shells. Yeah, so a 3-layer laminate, just it's a little bit beefier, more bomb-proof. So that could be an option. Then for my legs, I have a few different pair. These were the only 2 I could find, but here's an example of a bottom made just with that 2.5 layer laminate, so no backing fabric again. Benefit is they're lighter, they pack up smaller, so that would be a good one if I was really worried about space. And then here's an option with 3-layer laminate, so you can see it's got the nylon tricot on the back. So if I wanted something a little more durable, then I would pack these. And so these would sometimes be, maybe they're just used as a windproof layer because it's super windy and cold. So you've got your leggings on, you have your fleece or such kind of cozy pants on, but the wind is blasting through them and you're kind of cold. You could throw these on top to block the wind, so they're not necessarily just for rain. And then we get into the hat, mitts, and neck warmers. So absolutely for any of these type of trips, you have to have a hat and mitts and a neck warmer because it really can snow and get really cold. So you don't need a massive hat though. So here's one that's basically made out of power stretch jersey. Or power stretch fleece. Looks awfully similar to our endurance beanie.
It does.
Kind of cute.
Yeah.
Or maybe a lightweight wool toque. Maybe a super slinky. This is actually, we made this a couple years ago.
We actually have a tutorial on it. What do
Yeah.
you call it? The 8-minute beanie
I think so.
something?
Yeah, this was like the little
You
strap.
don't even need the pattern for it. We show you how to
No,
make
and
it.
this is a super lightweight 4-way stretch fabric. So great if you're actually hiking and you are getting warm. This is not very hot, so this is a good like
surprising
super
how
lightweight.
much comfort you get from a very lightweight
Totally.
sometimes.
And if I had this, you know, even under the hood of one of those jackets, it would add a bit of warmth, and as you can see, packs into nothing. You could consider a waterproof baseball hat. Sometimes they come in handy. So this is made out of a 2-layer laminate, tape seams and everything.
I'm surprised how many people are making their own hats.
I know.
We don't have a pattern
This
for
one
it,
I
but
find, this is fine if I'm sitting around, but if I'm like doing anything active, I got a lot of hair and my head gets so hot, I can't stand it. Like, it's a bit hot.
Yeah.
I need a little more breathing. And then for your hands, it could just be a lightweight glove or mitt. So these are a Wind Pro fleece style glove. It's actually probably Wind Stopper, but
yeah,
you know, like Wind Pro.
Stretch wind stopper.
So very lightweight. These are made out of aqua shell. So these are made here.
Yeah.
So lightweight mitten, lightweight glove, something like that is fine. And then for your buff, here's the one fashioned in the photo I sent of my daughter when she was 8 wearing it as a tube top. So yeah, like as if. But this one has a little bit of fleece back. The buffs are nice because they're really long. So you can really get warm with them, or you can have them around your neck and up and over your head.
We do
But
have a tutorial on that in YouTube
we also
too,
do,
don't we?
yeah. Or a short one just around your neck, or a
Easy
scarf,
peasy.
like just something. If it's really windy, it's usually wind is what gets you in the north and up high. Is you're fine, except the wind is just blowing and it sucks your heat right away from you.
So you've got an awful lot of stuff here, and
Yeah.
this was mostly to show everybody what you could take,
Mhm.
and obviously a lot of it's got to do with what you plan on doing every day. If you're going on a trip and you're going to go for a hike,
Yeah.
you know, during that time, you're going to want to have a couple of these things, but you're not going to carry an extra suitcase with all of
Absolutely
your stuff.
not.
But if you're actually going to be outfitting or hiking every day,
Yeah.
then there is some of these things that you need to consider.
Yes.
And you've
And
given some options here too. You wouldn't necessarily pack every single thing you've got here. You'd pick and choose
No.
based on what you think
I would
the
pick and
weather's gonna be
choose,
like.
and I would double up. Like obviously, I'd probably bring more than one T-shirt, just for the benefit of who I was traveling with. Yeah, but I would think like there are also certain things, if you're going on like one of these guided expeditions, the assumption is you're re-wearing your stuff, and if you get a little bit grubby or dirty,
So is
nobody
everybody
cares.
else.
Everybody else
Yeah.
is the same, and probably your guides are 10 times worse. So you definitely don't need to pack lots. You plan to re-wear stuff, but it was mostly to give a visual to, if you're looking at a packing list and thinking, seriously, do I really need all of these things? Chances are yes, and if you're lucky, you won't have the all 4 seasons in a single day, but you really
happen.
could. And
can
if
happen.
you wake up in the morning with 6 inches of snow on your tent in July, you'll be really happy that you have everything, because you will also wear everything. Which is the one final thing I should say, is that when you're planning a layering, we'll call it a system for lack of a better word, you want to make sure your layers fit comfortably over top of each other. So
Dress yourself at home.
try everything on at home. So like this jacket, I think is an extra large. I don't really need an extra large, but I knew that it was probably at times going to be over top of, a bunch of things,
maybe
including
your
something
vest.
this big,
Yeah.
fluffy, maybe my vest. My shell jackets were always sized really big because they're meant to go over. If I literally have everything on, I want to be able to put everything on if I have to. And
So
I
that's
have
actually
done that.
important when people are sewing their own wardrobe
Mhm.
and you're making like a neo shell jacket. You may want to make it a size bigger than you would.
Just a little bigger.
Like, even if it's a little bigger when you're going shopping, you want it to be,
Yeah.
multi-purpose.
Yeah, like put on a big sweater and then do your measurements maybe, or think, okay, well, yeah, I would
Just
normally
size up.
do this. Maybe give yourself a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Thank
that
you,
was quick,
Martha.
sort of.
Martha's very knowledgeable. I know when I travel, I'm trying to get it down to one suitcase. I'm probably not going to be hiking in the Arctic
Well,
much,
it
and-
totally depends. And this, like when I would pack on if I was going out on a 2-week canoe trip,
Yeah.
like it all smushed down into a very small thing because you have to. You don't have the luxury of
That's right.
multiple bags.
Yes.
So you can do it. This was mostly just to give a visual to the layers, or think, how do you take a layering system and apply it to a packing list, or what do they really mean?
Right. And if you're not going to the Arctic and you're going somewhere where it just could be changeable temperatures, then you can pick and choose the things
of
based
course.
on the
Yeah.
theory that you got to have a base layer, you've got to have a mid layer, and you got to protect
an
yourself
outer layer.
from the elements.
Yeah, exactly.
And that
Always,
always
yeah.
goes with everything.
Exactly. Always go back to the basics. Base, mid, outer.
Yay.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
That's it.
Appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, you can ask Super Martha in our sewing group or our discussion group, So Inspired by Discovery Fabrics.